at the Old Orchard Beach Seagulls. Hello, everybody. My name's Andy Poirier, along with Mark Pickard, our videographer, and waiting up in the booth, the voice of the Seagulls, Roger Painture. We bring you Coach's Corner, and today we've added a coach to the list. Actually, he's been here all year. We just haven't had him on. Dean Plant to my left, and, of course, head coach Kurt Creechin to his left. First of all, guys, we always like to go over the last game, and, boy, what a game. I mean, 8 minutes left. You guys are down 14-0. At first, it looked a little bit like we might be taking a long bus trip, but you guys never folded.
No, the kids played tough, and, they gained a lot of confidence from that, I think. But I think it showed a lot of character.
Defensively, defensive coach, you seem to shut them down in the second half.
Yeah.
Did you do anything differently?
We made a few small adjustments. Not a lot of big changes. We were just slipping some blocks as opposed to taking them on, and we made some slight adjustments. And they're a good ball club, so we'll give them their due too. But I think they did a real good job second half, and they strapped it on and came to play.
Kurt, your thoughts going into last quarter being down 14-0, and it just seemed like it was one of those games where statistically you were on top, I believe, anyways, but you were on the short end of the score. What were your thoughts going through in the fourth quarter?
Well, let me take you back to halftime a little bit. It seemed as though nothing was going right for us. There was mistakes and fumbles and a real lack of confidence on our part, and combined with Madison playing real well. We told them at halftime that as long as there are 2 plays left in this football game, then you are still in it, because we have a big strike offense. Dave Gerard's explosive, as well as many of our other kids, and as long as there's enough time for 2 plays, you're still in the game. Well, they really bought into that. Come fourth quarter, the momentum seemed to really have changed, sparked by that first touchdown run by Dave, and then it seemed like Madison never got the momentum back, and our kids showed a lot of poise and a real genuine never-say-die attitude.
Looking at the elements, we have some drizzle right now. We're expecting, I guess, heavier rain later on, and, of course, the wind's really whipping around. Passing-wise, you made a statement, I think, in one of the papers that you 0 for 9, somewhere around there, passing with 3 interceptions, and you still beat this team. Psychologically, coming out on the field, knowing what the win is, and you don't really have to pass to beat this team, does that still give you a little bit of an edge, you think?
Well, the key is today is to make sure you're going with the wind. I mean, this is unbelievable, and we're certainly not going to make an excuse out of it, but you don't want to do a lot of passing against this wind. The ball will just get held up. But, I mean, like you said, psychologically, we know that we didn't complete any passes to our team last week and still come out on top. But, that's something we really have to improve on, because, you're going to see 10, 9-man fronts, that many guys up trying to stop our run game, and we need to, even if it's a short game, we need to complete more passes today.
Feel a little better staying home rather than traveling 120 miles today?
Yeah, you never like to go up to Madison in November, that's for sure, as you can attest to. But, yeah, I mean, the kids deserve it, too. It's a good group of seniors here, so it's nice that they get a playoff game at home. And, stranger things have happened. Jay beating Lisbon and Old Orchard beating Madison. Could be here again next week.
We're seeing one player, I think, and I was looking out there now. He's warming up. Maybe we can talk about him. I know in the stat-wise, I guess he was doing pretty good for them. Ryan Estes, number 4. I know he had some kind of a broken toe, an injury to his toe earlier on. I know he's dressed, and what effect might he have in this game?
You mentioned it before we started the interview. I think a lot of it's emotional for Madison, because he is their team leader by far and away, probably their best football player. But he had a hairline fracture from his big toe right up almost to his ankle. So he's not 100%. I think it's more emotional. And like I said, I'd prefer to have Estes at 50% than a healthy loose. But hopefully they'll split time and help us out a little bit.
Like you said, I guess they're looking for any edge they can get today coming down here.
Key is I hope they don't get the boy hurt, coming back prematurely on an ankle like that. But, it's probably more of a symbolic Estes than a full-strength Estes.
How about you guys now, injury-wise? I know the troops, you don't have a lot on the roster. How are you set today for this game?
Well, Brian Tucci went out last week with a knee, and he seems to be fine. He got the doctor's clearance, and he's ready to go. Chris Hall got a banged-up knee. He's ready to go. Dave Glode, another knee, and he's ready to go. So I don't know if those players are 100%, but come playoff time, you tend to step it up a little bit, and the adrenaline gets flowing, and which is probably one of the reasons why Estes is right over there right now. So we're not hampered right now injury-wise. We're in a pretty good situation.
Well, there's no tomorrow for somebody who loses this game, right? It won't be a next week, because the winner of this game goes on to play the winner of Lisbon and Jay. So we'll hope for the best. We want to keep it going. I know that. We'd like to do a couple more games. I know you'd like to be involved in a couple more. 2 more games for the state championship. So we'll wish you luck, for another W in the win column. Thanks for coming on once again. That's it for the pregame show. Back to the voice of the Orchard Beach Seagulls, Roger Paintshaw, for the opening kickoff. Hope you enjoy it, everyone.
My family's affiliation with Stockholm Benefit Savings Bank goes back at least 100 years. My grandmother made deposits at the bank, including one for me when I was born. Our family has done business with the bank for over 4 generations. Why? Because Stockholm Benefit Savings Bank is a very human place. One is not a mere account number, but a person treated with respect and appreciation.
We all have choices, and Ben's Flooring has been the choice of many for all their flooring needs and more. And now, more than ever, because the Trustmark Carpet Selection System has come to Ben's Flooring. This system, emphasizing style, budget, and practicality, will help you make the right decision in choosing your new carpet. At Ben's Flooring, carpet selection is simple and pleasurable with the aid of a trained Trustmark salesperson to help you select a carpet you can feel good about. Have a happy Trustmark shopping adventure at Ben's Flooring.
Quality product and superior service is what you'll always find when you visit Deering Lumber for all of your home building and garden needs. Located at 14 Elm Street in Biddeford, they feature one of the area's finest selections of lumber, paint, windows, and hardware, as well as a wide selection of lawn and garden products. For over 130 years, it's been quality products and dependable service that stand behind the name Deering Lumber and make them a favorite. Stop in today and look over the outstanding selection. You won't be sorry.
We're all set to get started for this first round playoff game. Good interview by Andy with Dean Plant and the coach, Kurt. And we're looking down on the field now as they are introducing the starting lineup for the Seagulls. Looking at all familiar names and faces here. Scott Darling, of course, number 54. Number 70 is David Glode. Number 63, James Bigford. 72 is Chris Hall. And there's number 75, Jamie Gettinger, beating people up. Keith Parker is number 10. And Jerry Hubbard is on the other side.
At runback, 5'7", 145-pound senior, number 12, Captain Todd Polk.
One of the captains, Todd Polk.
5'8", 155-pound senior, number 13, Captain David Gerard.
And there's David Gerard. Everybody keys on David. Every game.
Senior, number 33, Captain
Ralph Dubois, another one of the co-captains on this team. Gerard is as well. And number 22, Don Dubois, the quarterback. The fourth of the captains is Billy Adams. Of course, Billy's on starting on defense today, and so is still on the sideline. And those are the Seagulls. It's deja vu all over again. It seems like we just finished this game, and here we go doing it all over again. Should be very interesting to see today. What happens in terms of the weather? Of course, I think the weather is going to have an effect. And we'll talk about more about that sort of stuff in just a second. Before that, however, we will pause for the national anthem. And we have done the national anthem. The high school band is not out here today because of the weather and all that sort of stuff, so they weren't going to play it. Then the second choice was going to be Jessie LaRoche, who was right here a moment ago ready to sing, and they didn't see her. And so they had the third possibility. The third choice was the tape that you just heard. The fourth choice was me.
Yes.
Yes. And we're all very grateful.
The tape worked.
The tape worked. Thank God. Well, Andy, it's going to be a good one, and I think you made a point. We were talking before the game. I don't know if you talked to Kurt about this, but I think advantages go to teams that have straight-ahead running games on fields and weather like this.
Exactly.
And Madison may have an edge for that reason this afternoon.
You know, we didn't cover.
Yeah,
we didn't cover that.
Okay.
You know, because for a while. Field conditions weren't really that horrible when we get down there, and I thought maybe it would hold off a little bit. Almost looked like the sun might start to break out a little bit, and the wind kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have a wind-driven drizzle.
Yeah.
Basically, is what we have right now. Hopefully, the weather forecast calls for heavy rain, like an inch or two, within the next 24 to 36 hours. We're supposed to be holding off till later this afternoon, but as you mentioned now, you know, it could play a factor here. This afternoon, as the weather does get worse. It's a 2-hour game. You know, another hour. What's the field conditions going to be like for a team like Dave Gerard trying to cut with Madison straight ahead team, kind of like Marshwood playing Biddeford today. With Biddeford's a passing team for the most part. The wind's not going to help their game neither. Yeah, so the elements should play some kind of a part. But I guess, you know, if you're going to be a state championship team and if you're going to be the best, you should be versatile and play in any kind of weather, snow, rain, fog, you know, anything that's out there. So, Roger, I want to congratulate for the Orchard Beach players, especially for making, I think, an all-conference team or an all-star team. Was mentioned in the paper last night. Bill Adams, James Bickford, Jim Ginninger, and Dave Gerard were picked, and very deservingly so. So 4 players make the, I think it's like an all-conference, all-state team or something. So congratulations to those guys. And, boy, if we have any kind of game like we had last week, we're going to be here a while.
We are. And another added attraction, I guess, to this afternoon's contest is the fact that Ryan Estes, they've been their leading rusher all year, was absent last week because of, I think it was a broken toe, is suited up and apparently will play, or at least will play on defense.
Right.
And they're going to sort of key off him as sort of their inspirational leader type thing and all that. I don't know how effective he's going to be. I don't think Madison knows how effective he's going to be, but he is going to play. And that gives them that added little edge, I guess. And you look for any edge you can get in a game like this. Again, we remind everybody we were a double overtime team, a game last week with Old Orchard Beach coming out on top 28-22. And those 28 points were scored beginning with about 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. From that point on, they were able to score 14 to tie it in regulation, and then the other 14 in double overtime to finally win it. The other thing that sometimes happens in games like this, and I'm not saying that it'll happen today, but coaches tend to outcoach themselves. Both guys know what the other guy's going to do. They've seen it, you know, for 4 quarters full of it. Now they say, well, you know, we're going to put in some new wrinkles and we're going to do things they didn't see. And very often those things tend to backfire. And I still think that you have to get there with what got you there in the first place and stick with it. Just make it work a little better. That's all. Cut down on the problems, on the mistakes, and just play what you do best. There may be an offside.
Yeah, there is. It's going to come back 5 yards.
Beach is going to go back 5 yards on this kickoff.
And, you know, a couple of factors, these teams don't like each other.
Well, that helps. Sure.
There's been a lot of bad blood over the years.
That's true.
We've seen it. And, you know, the scouting teams didn't have to go very far last week. They basically knew who they were playing. The next week it's just a matter of where they were playing.
That's right.
So they were able to kind of watch each team and maybe learned a little bit from each other from that. I'm sure both sides made adjustments. I'm sure Madison did it too, you know.
Yep.
And what better off can you scout a team than have the whole team there live watching the team? So these teams know each other a little better than they did a week ago.
Yep.
So I think the best team here is going to win this afternoon.
You said it.
But again, you know, with the wet field and the wet ball, you got to figure turnovers may play a big key in this football game.
No doubt about it.
Well, we're all set to go. Madison in the white and the blue. They'll be receiving, and Orchard kicking off in their blue and gray or silver pants.
And this time we get it right. And Jerry Hubbard gets the kick away, being picked up down around the 30 or so. And a good tackle. So we will start off at the 30-yard line for Madison and see them go on offense. Last week, of course, we saw an awful lot of Brian Luce, number 25. He's pretty much a straight-ahead runner, as is the other kid, Walsh. He ran with it quite a bit, and those two kids basically ran with the offense. Neither team was particularly effective passing. So the air game isn't going to be effective since neither team pretty much depends on it. Here we go, and they come out in a wishbone offense, and this is going to be the quarterback coming around on a keeper. That's a design play, and he's stopped by Dave Gerard, coming up with a nice play. Jesse Moody, right?
Chad Strout ran the ball right. I'm not sure if if he just took the snap from center and went with it.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about, Andy. That's kind of Stroud is quarterbacking this team.
Well, I don't see Moody out there.
I don't see Moody out there at all. Jesse Moody was, of course, last week's quarterback, number 19. I don't see him. He's on the sidelines, and Stroud is the quarterback.
Well, maybe it gives him another dimension in the backfield. I know he's a pretty good little runner when he gets the ball on the receiving end, so maybe they figure there's another weapon. He could be the backup quarterback, and it could be perfect install for this game.
And he's going to keep the ball on a straight-ahead run, pick up another 3 or 4, get it out to about the 37, 38-yard line. So what that tells me, Andy, they've said pretty much, we're not going to be throwing the ball anyway. This kid can run for us, and we're going to just put the fourth running back, a real running back, in the backfield for us. Now Moody comes out.
He threw that 2-point conversion on that double reverse in the first overtime to send it in the second. Well, that was a pretty play. But Stroud seems like he's a good athlete, and he can play all over the place. So now
Moody is, and Stroud comes down. He'll be split wide down at the bottom of your screen as Moody comes back in the quarterback. We go back to a straight I formation, and that's loose, and he stopped. He may have the first down, but it'll be very close.
Going to be close that time.
Todd Paul comes up with the tackle. The spot will determine what we've got.
Interesting, too, on the kickoff.
We've got a first down, Andy.
Yeah, 3 plays ago on the kickoff, Raj, all kinds of bodies were already slipping on the field. So I'm just wondering, as the game goes on, it's not going to get any prettier if this keeps up or if it gets any heavier. First down, like you mentioned, ball at the 40.
Right on the 40. And Moody stays in at quarterback now as they stay in the I formation. They showed us a lot of looks last week. They went to at least 3 different offensive sets. This is Walsh, good tough runner. He showed us that last week too. He'll pick up 3 or 4. They went to what you're seeing now, an I formation with a couple of people split. They did the wishbone, which we've already seen here this afternoon, and they also go to a pro set, 2-back type situation. So they come at you from a lot of different directions.
And Luce had over 100 yards, I think, in the first half last week.
Yeah,
and he had that big 53 or 4-yard touchdown run on 4th and inches or something?
Yeah, now they go to a 1-back set. Luce is split wide, and he's coming back in motion. The deep back, I assume, is Walsh. And it is. And the handoff to Walsh, and he is found right away by Ralph Dubois coming up from his linebacker position.
Yeah, big play there.
Beautiful play by Dubois.
I think the thing that, too, the Beach has a little momentum going, of course, from the win last week, but also shutting him down in the second half. And I think the defense, senses that if they can do this on the opening drive, that'll send a message to the other side right away.
No doubt about it. We got 3rd and long, make it about 9. And we're still back there at about the 41-yard line on the Madison side of the field.
If they're going to pass, Rod, you have the wind to their back now going to this quarter. Going from left to right, the wind is at their back. A little bit of a breeze, not as bad as earlier on.
Moody is the quarterback. Will drop back to throw. He's being rushed, and he's found and hit. Drop for the big loss. Loss of about 10, 12 on the play. And lots of folks there to find Moody. Bickford being one of them. Darling another. I believe Tucci. Lots of folks back there.
Yeah, they sent the troops in that time. And actually going to give them about 11-yard loss. 10 or 11 from the point where they marked it. Ball at about the 30. They need to get to midfield, so we'll call it a 10-yard loss. And it brings up, you mentioned, 4th and 20. 8 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And I think there's an official's timeout with an equipment problem.
Thing.
But a loss of 10. Actually, Moody got sacked a couple times, I think, last week,
too. Yes, he did.
But if he's going to pass, if you look at the flag now, it's incredible. The flag was just draped down. There was no wind. And
no wind at all.
before this game, the wind was swirling out there. So
it's going to be one of those days, kid. We'll never know from minute to minute.
Exactly.
What
well, if you don't like the weather in Maine, just wait a minute, right?
That's right. Dave Gerard is deep, along with, I think that's Billy Adams back there. Punts could be affected by the wind today as well, but this one isn't, and it's taking a nice Madison roll. It'll get down to about the 26 or 7 yard line. And that's where the Seagulls go on offense for the first time this afternoon with 7:34 remaining. Well, before they do that, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with a Seagull offense right after this.
In this election season, you've heard what the others promise. Now let us tell you what we guarantee. Variety. Yes, we have something for everyone. Just look. And all at low prices. Sorry, we can't do anything about the taxes. Full employment. And we strongly support the community. Remember, if you're looking for a party to join, come to our campaign headquarters. We promise to satisfy you.
Kids, pets, odors, spills, the list is endless. But with ServPro Cleaning Service, your house can be spring fresh year-round. With carpet, furniture, wall, and in-house drapery cleaning, insurance claim specialist, and odor removal, no job is too big for the technicians at ServPro. If dirt and cleaning are a problem for you, let ServPro take the worry out of your life and put clean, fresh happiness in your home. Bob's Exxon and Mini Mart, conveniently located on Elm Street in Saco, is also a state liquor agency. Bob's has a large variety of your favorite brands of beer, wine, and liquor. Whether you're planning a last-minute party, get-together, or just a quiet, relaxing evening at home, Bob's has just about everything you need. Sandwiches, snacks, soda, chips, and your favorite alcoholic beverage. Stop at Bob's today and get your get-together together. Bob's Exxon and Mini Mart, there for you.
Now we're taking a look at some of the players down here on the sidelines as Mark swings across. And now there we go, looking up at first down situation now for Old Orchard Beach. They're at their own 27-yard line.
As they get a dry ball out to the field,
right.
That's going to be one of the most important things today. They're going to keep balls dry here and there because, like you said, you don't want a bad snap from center. Turnover could be really costly in a game like this.
That's what you expect on days like this. And through, through the first series, we didn't see any those types of errors, at least from Madison. Oh, but it can happen, and we expect it to happen.
All right, we're all set to go. Scott Darling is your center.
Yep.
We haven't seen too many bad snaps from the center quarterback as far as Orchard goes this year.
We've got a call here.
I think somebody's lined up offside.
Yeah.
Again, it's the beach.
Going to walk 5 off.
Yeah.
So.
These are just mental mistakes that really, those two flags already could have easily been avoided.
That's right. 1st and 15. So again, that changes your play calling maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, and right now I was going to say they're throwing into a wind, but there's actually no wind.
There's nothing
right now.
happening.
There's nothing happening out there at all. It's a little bit of a drizzle, but otherwise
just a fine mist coming down. Okay, first down. Let's see if we can get it right now, kids. Polk is on motion. Handoff is to Ralph. Ralph's got a little bit of room, not much. No. It closes up quickly as he gets about 2. And will be spotted up around the, wherever we are, 40, 30, 20, 25-yard line.
Yeah, second down, and it's going to bring about 12.
Yep.
So a pickup of about 3. The winner of this game gets the rights to play the winner of the Jay Lisbon game, which is going on right now in Lisbon, Maine. Lisbon was the first seed.
Yes.
Orchard 2, Madison 3, and Jay was ranked 4th. But keep in mind about Jay. Jay is a playoff team.
They proved it last year.
That is going to be no easy football game there.
For sure. Polk in motion again. This is the option. Donnie hangs on to it and falls forward. We'll pick up another 2 or 3. And it'll be third and long, maybe 3rd and 9, let's say.
Yeah, 3rd and about 9. Of course, you don't want to start getting early on in these 3rd and longs neither, because then you're almost showing the other team that you want to throw the football to get the first down.
Yep.
So you don't want to telegraph exactly what you're doing here on 3rd and long all the time.
Don comes back to the huddle.
I know it's early on, but that just shows you importance of that 5-yard penalty on first down.
Sure.
Because if you don't get that 5-yard penalty, it's 3rd and 1 right now.
Yeah, good point. Todd Polk is a deep back. Gerard is over on the wing, and we've got another. I think we're going to have a delay.
Yeah, they're just mental breakdown right now, and it's 3 flags within 6 minutes, Raj. Nothing major, but you know, kind of takes you out of any momentum that you might want to have.
Yep. So now we're looking at a 3rd down and 13, give or take.
Yeah, 4-yard penalty.
Yeah, it was a 4-yard penalty. They walked off 4 yards.
6 minutes to go and the clock moving in quarter number 1. Just joined us. Madison got the ball first, was stuffed. And Lorchard now faces 3rd and long.
Todd Polk is the deep back.
New rule.
Yep, and Donnie will throw, and he's going to throw short, and he finds Jerry Hubbard, and Jerry is going to go out of bounds on the Madison 49 for a big first down.
Yeah, you know, prior to the game, wanted to mention this earlier on.
Yep.
Watching Don Dubois throw the ball, and I know there's actually no defensive people on you, but he was throwing it pretty well.
Yeah.
And I thought that, you know, he was throwing a crosswind also. And I thought if he could start out with just that first completion, I think he could have a good day passing the football.
Well, he got his first one, and it's a big gainer out to the Madison 49. Sets up nice field position now for the Beach to operate in, or in which to operate. You never finish a sentence with a preposition. We come out now with the with the wishbone, and coming up the middle is Dave Gerard. That's Dave's first carry, I think, this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. Gain of about a yard or 2.
Yeah.
See where they give him. You know, very important, too, after going 0 for 9 last week, maybe losing a little bit of confidence.
Sure.
With 3 interceptions, by the way. Don Dubois, when he starts off good, he usually stays pretty hot during a game. That's what we've noticed with the pattern with him. If he stays off, so I think it was really important he starts out real well. That'll just give him confidence now, and that'll keep the Madison defense on its toes now.
For sure. Polk is over on the wing. Parker split out wide. It's Donnie on a broken play. Just falls forward. Don Dubois, quarterback. That just didn't go where it was supposed to go. It picks up a yard by falling forward, basically. And we're going to look at a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. And we've seen a lot of plays that were broken in the past that have been for gains. You know, sometimes you see them for a loss, so it could have been worse. It's 3rd and about 7 now, and again, you got to be looking for maybe Jerry Hubbard or Dave Gerard here on the outside.
Yep, Hubbard is down below. He's at the bottom of your screen, and he does go out, but it's a handoff to Gerard. It was found early, quickly. Nice tackle. Coming up with the tackle is Jesse LaCase, number 82. And the gain is for a couple more, but we've got a 4th down now, and about 5.
Yeah, they've been punting
closer to 4.
44-yard line. I would think they might go in punt formation here, but you never know.
You never know, indeed.
They could set up like they're not going for it and have Gerard kick,
yes,
so they don't get a run back.
They've done that before, and everybody stays up tight. Look for Gerard to probably punt out of here. It could happen, and there it is. And it works very nicely. Stroud follows it, and it's stopped, picked up by Jerry Hubbard. Back inside the 20-yard line, so that isn't a bad play at all for the Beach. It pins Madison back deep in their own territory. It'll be at the 21 now as they spot it. And Madison goes back on offense.
Yeah, it's not a bad call because a lot of things could happen if he does go back to punt formation. Could be a bad snap, could be a fumble up here, could be a block punt, could be a run back.
Absolutely.
You know, but one good bounce here, he gets another 10 yards out of it. So you never know.
Just didn't get the roll on the punt, but that's okay. We're down at the 20-yard line.
They don't give up any bad field position here.
No way. Stroud is split wide out of the eye. Oh, nice big hole up in the middle, but they find him relatively soon. Dubois, Don is on the tackle. That is...
the Lord just says they've got the football, but
loose.
I don't think they're going to get it.
No, I don't think so.
Dubois, I think it was Dubois that came up with it. They thought they had fumbled it. It's a gain of about 6. 5, actually.
Make it 5. The 2nd and 5 are just over the 25-yard line. Loose with the quick speed. He's got that ability to hit the hole very, very quickly. He gets almost the top speed right away. And that's excellent for a straight-ahead runner, which is what he is. If they can open up a hole for him, he usually pops it for good gains, and he did that consistently last week, especially in the first half. And now they're going to try to get... There is the fumble. And it's Beach ball. There's the first big break.
There you go. You got to figure. I don't think it had too much to do with the weather. It might have that time, but I think it was just a bad exchange too between both players.
I don't think it had anything to do with the weather. That was just a bad pitch. Hit him in the pads, actually, bounced off his shoulder.
Looked more like it should have been a handoff, and it was a pitch where it was too close to pitch it to him.
Absolutely.
3 minutes left, Raj, in the opening quarter. The Beach in good field position. There's the first turnover of the game, and we're going to see if they pay for it.
And there are going to be more, gang. Hang on. This is only the beginning. But this is the first big opportunity now for the Beach.
There we
There's
go.
Another one. Don falls on it. That's no damage, except that it's no gainer, and we've got 2 and make it 2nd and 10.
Next year we'll have to build a dome here.
Yeah, that'd be great. The Beach Dome.
The Beach Dome. The first dome in high school football.
History. Wow. We could
Raj,
raise money for that.
We'll raise money for that.
Sure. Cake sales.
Yeah.
You know,
Singing.
National
We'll sing
anthem.
to people for $1.
Yeah.
Actually, if we don't sing, they'll pay us $1. Imagine how rich we'll get. That'd be better.
Yeah.
If Roger doesn't sing the national anthem, they give him $5.
We make huge money. Gerard is going to throw, and he does that, and he passes correct. It's Polk. Polk is loose, and he's down to the goal line.
Close.
No touchdown, but boy, he's close.
You know, Roger, I think the initial receiver, they were looking in the deep, and Gerard might have had him, but he had to elude a tackler, and he had to step back away from the play, and by that time he went up shorter. He went up underneath and found Polk.
Dave Gerard, former quarterback.
And I think that could have easily been a touchdown, by the way. 24-yard, actually a 23-yarder.
23 yards, we're down to about the 2-yard line as Todd Polk makes a good catch and then picks up the rest on his own. We're down to the 2, 1st and goal. Let's see if we hand it off to Brother Ralph on the first down attempt. Polk in motion. Don is going to carry it himself.
We got a flag right away.
No touchdown, or unless it's against Madison, which I doubt very much.
Well, there's another one of those penalties, though. It's against the Beach again.
Yep. It may have been against Polk going forward before the snap. He was in motion, if you recall, but that's just my guess. Anyway, we're going to bring it back out to the 7-yard line now and complicate matters a little bit. We're going to repeat first down.
Yeah, we're down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds as now they move the clock ahead, so we'll be under 2 minutes when this snap takes place in quarter number 1. If you just joined us, a fumble by Madison somewhere around the 25-yard line. The Beach takes over, a 23-yard from Gerard to Polk, and now with a 5-yard penalty, the Beach has 1st and goal at the 6. 6 or 7, actually.
Yeah. That's Gerard trying to escape. He does escape. Now it's a dash to the corner. He has to avoid one boy. He can't quite get by that fellow, but he does pick up about 4 on the play, and he'll get down to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he made about 3 or 4 yards out of a minor. Probably he should have lost about 5 back there.
Yeah.
Your average back would have lost about 5 yards.
Well, he ran about 30, but he picked up 4. And I guess it's about 4. We're going to see where they spot the ball. We're still talking about something down there.
They're still trying to wipe off the ball. This ball is just...
There's going to be a lot of that this afternoon.
Oh, there is. And, you know, this is a 3rd down now. Actually, it should be 2nd. It is 2nd
It
down.
is 2nd down.
2nd and goal. They need to score. The ball's at the 4, so they only gave him about 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, they gave him 3, so we've got a 2nd and 4. Scott Darling, by the way, is the center, number 54. And
again, the exchange, most important part of the offense now will be the exchanges.
Right, there's Gerard. He's going to be close.
Near the goal line. Boy, doesn't this remind you of the 2nd overtime?
Doesn't it, though? It almost looked to be some motion on that play, like from Madison. I thought maybe they had jumped, but apparently not. But now we're down to the 1-yard line on the 3-yard gain by David, and it's a 3rd down.
2 plays to make a yard here.
Yep.
To go up, and the Beach hasn't been ahead of Madison yet this year, except for the overtime last week. They started off trailing 14-0, so this would be a big boost for them to go ahead.
Huge boost. Let's see who gets it. It's Gerard. He follows the blocking, and he is in. Touchdown.
1-yard run, Dave Gerard. 1:08 to go in quarter number 1, and the Beach jumps on top in this one, 6-0.
Beautiful run on a lot of good blocking on that side. It's his favorite side to run on these short gainers, and no mistake on that one.
And again, the turnover was big in this case.
Absolutely.
And we're going to say whoever coughs up the ball the least is going to probably win this one.
That's right.
So 1:08 to go. It looks like they're going to be setting up for one. Gerard with the hold, Parker with the attempted kick, but we've seen them fake out of this formation also. We'll see if they go for it here. And they do. Parker up, and it looks good from here.
Hey.
And it is good.
Keith Parker. I was just told, Andy, that this week they practiced out here with a greased-up football. They said, we'll practice in the gym. They said, no, let's go outside. And I was just told this by Jeff over here, saying that they used a greased football in practice, and they were throwing with it, passing with it, and they said very few fumbles, very few miscues. So,
well, there you go. That's advanced coaching.
That worked.
Yeah. Should grease the ball up every week.
Every week, exactly. You never know. Well, it's 7-0, Andy.
Yeah.
And they're looking mighty good. In fact, the scoreboard has a 27-0.
Well, we'll take that.
We'll hang
That's
on
not
to
the score.
I
I saw 3 touchdowns.
Me too. Okay, now we got it. 7-0.
I think somebody from Madison just went and got a jar of Crisco over there. Work over at halftime. And all right, well, 1:08 to go. The Beach kicking off again, but this time they're in. Take the early lead 7-0. So now Madison finds themselves having to come back. You got to wonder now offensively. They were stopped once and actually twice. They coughed up the football. Psychologically, you got to wonder, what kind of a psych job this will do on them now, their offense. It's very, very early. We've got 3 quarters of football left and then some.
The ball just rolled off the tee. So Jerry Hubbard has to put it back on and try it again. Jerry gets it away. And it's going to float down here to Walsh, who is and fumbles.
And the Beach.
You got it.
Yeah, they got it, Raj. Sorry, I got a little excited that time. Just saw that ball popping out.
Ralph Dubois.
One of the most pleasant sights you want to see.
Yes.
That little brown thing squirting out.
Uh-huh.
We're back.
First down.
You take it from here, right?
Donnie is going to throw. He's going to throw deep.
Got him.
He's got Jerry Hubbard.
Yes.
He's got a touchdown.
What do you know about that? 2 turnovers and bang, 2 touchdowns right away.
24-yard pass completion. Don Dubois to Jerry Hubbard. The second long pass completion to Hubbard this afternoon. Both for good gains.
Yeah.
This one is another touchdown. And with 56 seconds left in the first quarter, it's Old Orchard Beach 13 and Madison zip.
Well, 56 seconds left. What do you say about the passing game? 3 for 3 over 70 yards now.
Hard to beat that.
Well, he kind of knew coming in, that they had to do something a little bit differently here to get on top. They show a different formation.
They sure do, and it's Gerard in a shotgun.
I don't think he was expecting that.
And everybody comes and finds it. Now he gets away, and he's gonna throw.
Got him!
Got it to Don Dubois for the 2-point conversion.
Talk about all cylinders working right now. That's incredible. I thought he was just going to land the football back there. I really did.
Well, the fans are really appreciating it down here below us as Mark picks them up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They came out in a shotgun situation. Dave Gerard deep. The ball snapped over his head. Dave goes back, finds it, has about 45,000 guys all running down his neck, avoids a bunch, and then throws it in the end zone to Don Dubois, who's standing there for the 2-point conversion.
I've said this off the air, and I'm going to say it on the air now. I'm not going to say what it is. But my vote for the Fitzpatrick Award has to be Dave Gerard. And not because I'm a homer, because we cover Old Orchard Beach.
Sure.
I've read about other kids. You look in the stats, but we see what he does on the field, just how valuable.
Yep.
And we see sometimes the predicaments he gets in, and it looks like he's going to be...
he's that kid right down there.
I'll tell you, that's my vote. He gets. I think he gets 3 votes up here, anyways, in the booth.
He's got 3 here. We haven't seen anybody better, and we've been doing this for a long time.
No, he just makes things happen. And when you think of gain over 1,500 yards in 8 weeks, and people are keying on you week to week, and he plays both sides of the football, and he weighs about what 60 pounds soaking wet.
Absolutely.
May weigh 161 today. Well, let's hope we don't see another ball squirt out here.
And Luz is still on his feet. Now he's dragged down. And there's another fumble.
No,
but
they're
it's
going to call him
stay
down.
There. And Madison will go on offense. They now have the ball at their own 37-yard line. Just find it. Yeah, it's the 37, 38.
Well, Madison's yet to cross midfield here in the first quarter.
True.
Fumbled in their own 25, and I think they punted from around their own 40, 45-yard line. So, tell you, they're down 15-0 now. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, we have a long way. We saw one team trailing 14-0 last week, and they came back. So we'll see what happens here.
That's a good point. Let's not forget that. This is a tough team that wants to win here this afternoon. That's Luz just jumping over the pile. Broderick is down there at the bottom of that pile, along with a couple of other folks. Who else is getting up down there? Scott Darling. And other guys came off over the top to find him. Second down in about 8.
Well, I think if you're an Old Orchard fan, I think there's only one thing better than a gold ball. It's beating Madison twice in 1 year.
Yeah, twice in 2 weeks.
Nice when you can get them in one year, once a year.
Exactly. Second down.
Could be the last play of the quarter if they keep this on the ground, Raj.
Yep, I would say. Oh, there's another one, and he just has to follow the ball. That's Walsh. Lost back to the, oh, God, where are we? Back to the 30-yard line.
Hate to say this, but the ball is wet for both sides, too.
Yes, it is. And that does end the first quarter of play. Well, we've completed one here from Joe Regina Field in Old Orchard Beach. And our score, Old Orchard 15, Madison 0. Andy, Mark, and I will be back with quarter number 2 right after this pause.
Next to Jurassic Dinosaur cookies, gumballs, and Mary Jane's, next to Nintendo bubblegum. Penny candy everywhere. Are you in the Twilight Zone? No, you're at the Way store, where every day is a step back to 1929. Stop in and visit with Catherine and Peggy for all your everyday grocery needs and then some. And remember, a slower, kinder time. From penny candy to padlocks, dried beans to dolls with homemade outfits, you'll find it at the Way store. Step back in time at the Way store without leaving today.
Tradition and Maine go hand in hand, and one tradition the locals enjoy is visiting Wormwoods by the breakwater, Camp Ellis. Wormwoods has been a family affair for more than 50 years, serving up the finest and fresh seafood, certified Angus beef, as well as chicken and pasta dishes. Wormwoods enjoys making you feel at home with hearty meals, lighter portions for small appetites, and gladly accommodates those with special dietary needs. Visit Wormwoods. Become a part of the tradition.
Okay, we're ready for the second quarter here in Old Orchard Beach. And Madison with the ball, looking at a third down and about 13 yards to go.
Yeah, you think passing situation here. There's not much of a breeze again looking out.
No,
it's amazing how that breeze died down.
Everything is just still. Moody throws to the flat, has the guy back down there looking for some blocking, doesn't get too much, and is dropped. And it'll set up a fourth down as they get out to their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, the pass completion looked like it might have been to LaCase. Jesse LaCase.
Yep, number 82. Moody calls signals here on fourth down and dropping back to punt. Looks like number 32, Russ Peters.
For the second time this afternoon.
Yeah, only one boy back deep for the Seagulls, and that is, of course, Dave Gerard.
Yeah, I think he's going to make sure that
They're
he's able to
putting on a rush,
yeah.
and he gets it away, and he gets a nice kickoff. Gerard now he puts on the speed. Here he comes, back upfield, picking his blockers. Finds a little space, still on his feet, and there he goes!
He's gone!
He's gone! Flag down.
Oh, man, no. And they're going to call a clip or something down here because the Orchard Beach coaching staff is
going nuts.
Wild.
The flag fell at the 40-yard line, and it's going to come back. And the coaches just saw it as it fell, and they're coming back with it. It's a holding call. But, you know, flag or no flag, What another great run by Dave Gerard.
Now,
He shows you what he can do.
Your average back gets caught back there.
Of course he does.
Your average back probably doesn't want to catch that football in the air like that when it's raining like this.
Yeah, he calls for a fair catch.
No, it's flags and right in front of the Orchard bench too is probably the worst place to throw it right now.
Yeah.
You know, you don't usually see Kurt and Dean get that excited, you know, animated on the sidelines about a call. And, boy, I'll tell you, they really upset at that one. So.
Dean really lost it. He flung his hat away. In fact, his hat is still down here on the bench where he threw it.
Dave wasn't exactly too happy.
Anyway, the ball will go back to the Seagull 30 following a 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul.
I bet that might have been the big emotion breaker, too, that TD. You know, it would have been only 11 minutes left in the second quarter, but going up 20-something
by
to
3
nothing early on.
Exactly.
It's going to be a big boost to Madison here.
Ralph up the middle, pick up of a couple. They tried to string out the defense a little bit on that. They had Polk spread wide down here along with Parker. And just trying to find, you know, get the backers to spread out a little bit, and then maybe you find a little more room inside. Ralph gets 2 or 3 on the play, so we'll look at a 2nd and 7, maybe.
Yeah, 2nd and a long 7.
Yep.
They need to get up here to the 40-yard line exactly. We're under 11 minutes, 10 and a half to go. In quarter number 2, 15-0. If you just joined us, the beach just exploded, and almost exploded again here.
Oh, man, another great run. All comes back. 2nd down, Don looks to throw. Don looking for a receiver. Has Parker deep, but no connection there. A couple of people coming back on defense.
Yeah, actually a ball overthrown. Ended up on the sidelines, which is a good. If you're going to incomplete a pass, he had 3 picked off last week. Let's not give anybody a chance to pick that one up. Let's throw a sideline route and let it go into the bench area.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's 3rd and long, but actually it's a good down to throw on to a 2nd and long, because that way here they're probably not expecting it.
3rd down. Ralph is the only deep back in this set. And it's a reverse to David Gerard looking to come in. Then he goes back outside. Does that so well. Shifts gears a little bit and will pick up another 4 or 5 yards.
Reverse to Gerard for 5 yards.
Goes out of bounds on the Madison side. Clock stops with 10:09 left and a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, really a couple men there waiting for him, waiting for that play on the outside. Was able to beat the first guy, but then there was just too much over there.
Right.
So a gain of about 3.
Beach will be punting here with Jerry Hubbard going back deep. And Luce is the receiver. Single receiver back for Madison.
Well, they come for the block.
Yeah, Jerry gets it away, gets a good roll. It'll head for the sidelines, and it'll just go down dead inside the 30, down around the 27-yard line. With exactly 10 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, 36-yard punt, Raj.
Okay.
That time. 10 minutes, as you mentioned, exactly left in the quarter. But, boy, what a big boost for Madison that time.
Getting that touchdown call back.
Getting that touchdown call back.
Wow.
But you know what a difference a week makes, because last week at this time Madison had just controlled the entire first half statistically.
Totally.
And the Beach right now is dominating the first half.
Mm-hmm. First down for Madison. They're at their own 27. Out of the eye. The deep back is loose, and he is dropped after picking up a couple.
Yeah, Luce had over 100 yards last week in the first half. He's got 9 right now.
Yay, what a difference a week makes.
They're plugging the holes in the inside. They know that Madison's going to run between tackles, and I think they're just making the same adjustments they made in the second half. They're just using that.
Yep. We got a 2nd down and about 8 maybe. Luce is split wide down here at the bottom of your screen. We've got 1 back set. Moody calling signals. And he's going to throw. He's hit by Jerry Bickford. Oh, man.
Yeah, Jim Bickford.
Jim Bickford, sorry. Did I call him Jerry? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I have a brother named Jerry. Jim Bickford.
It's only a loss of 2 or 3, but more importantly, it sends another message there.
Exactly.
Basically hit a blind side. They never saw him coming. So it's a loss of, we'll call it 3.
3rd down and 11.
And again, it puts them into the passing situation. Passing-wise, Roger, 1 for 1 for 7 yards. They threw that pass to the flats to LeCase that didn't get him the first down. They're not going to pass deep on you if they do throw.
Exactly. Stroud is split wide at the top of your screen. If they go to the pass here, look for him as the prime target, I would guess. Moody looks to go back. Now he's going to do a bit of a screen, and that's going to pick up some yards.
Not enough for a first down. Oh, and now we get a flag.
That was to Saucier, R.J. Saucier, number 33. And the flag will probably be against the beach, I would guess.
No, they're clapping, so it's against Madison.
No, it's against Madison.
Might be a hold up here.
The game brings the ball out to about the 35-yard line, make it to 34. Sets up a 4th down.
The beach could decline it here.
Yes, they could, and force the punt. Madison assumes that they're going to accept the penalty.
No, they're going to decline it.
And they are going to decline it. So it'll be a 4th down and about 3.5 yards. They're at the 34. It should set up the punt that they're looking for. And again, dropping deep will be, who else? David Gerard. Punting team comes on the field.
Yeah, you don't want to, if you're Madison, you don't want to, it's still early. I mean, we got, 8 minutes left in this quarter. We got 2 12-minute halves, and you don't want to give up nothing here. And again, if you're at Madison, I'm just surprised at kicking to him. I really am. I would kick the ball away and out of bounds right now.
Yeah. Good rush, but he gets it away.
That's what they tried to do right there.
And heads for the sidelines and out of bounds. So the ball will be spotted somewhere around the 34-yard line. And Seagulls go on offense with a 15-0 lead.
Yeah, 7:58 to go now. In the first half play. All the scoring done in the first quarter. If you just joined us, the Beach scored first on a 1-yard Gerard run. Parker with the kick, 7-0 at 1:08 left in the quarter, and a 24-yard pass Dubois to Hubbard, and then a 2-point conversion, a nice play from Gerard to Dubois at 56 seconds left. So in a matter of just seconds.
That's right. Dubois has the option, slips and loses his footing.
Boy, Whittle got a lot more out of that on a dry field. Because he had a little bit of room to turn the corner here.
That's right. There's no gain on the play, so it'll be second and still about 10 yards to go. Don comes over here, gets his play, and also cleans off the spikes a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's the importance, too, on a day like today, Raj, when you run the option like that. It's nice that they're up 15-0. Just like we said, the field ain't going to get any prettier, and it's going to get a lot more slippery. So that, I think this lead right now is very important to them earlier on.
Yes, this field could be a real mud bowl by the second half if the rain picks up. It's still not bad, though. We can't complain too much. Second out, handoff inside. That's Ralph, and he'll get a couple. Donnie and Ralph Dubois, of course, brothers. And we'll give them a couple. Call it 3rd and 8.
Again, they're faced with another 3rd and long. It seems like offensively they've been in that situation. Then again, so's Madison. Both teams have been in a lot of 3rd and longs.
But they're 3 for 3 passing, right?
3 for 4.
3 for 4.
Last one was incomplete on the sidelines.
Correct. And one of those passes, of course, was thrown by Gerard.
Now, here we go. Fumble again.
And what have we got?
Well, the beach should, I think Dubois covered it. But it just shows you that how slippery it's getting, because we've seen more fumbles, I think, just from the snap of center we've seen all year long.
Exactly. Well, it's 3 and out for the Seagulls here. They'll be punting back on their own 35 as the clock works its way down with 6:15 or so left in this first half. Loose is deep, and Jerry Hubbard will be punting the ball.
Two punters may need cortisone shots at halftime in their feet there if this keeps up.
Yeah. Up and down. Coming down around the 45. Bounces back. Gets a beautiful Madison bounce. And will finally be down by the Seagulls on their own 48-yard line.
Other than one punt so far, Jerry has not been getting the rolls.
That's right.
5:56 left in the second quarter.
Hey, let's take a short break. We'll be back with more action here right after this message.
Fun that never stops. You'll find it at Soho's, your #1 stop. For great tunes, great food, great drinks, great people, Soho's has got the longest happy hour, starting at noon till 8 every day. Monday night, football night with free chili, 99-cent drafts, and T-shirt giveaways. Thursdays, ladies' night with drink specials all night long. Saturdays, live music. If that's not enough, check out the new Munchies and best burgers in town and the dart leagues. Soho's, for all the action you could ever want.
When you need to stop, make sure it's an advanced brake service.
Just under 6 minutes left to play, and Mark picks up the cheerleaders all in their rain gear this afternoon. Not reindeer, rain gear. It's not Christmas yet. Okay, first down for Madison.
Good field position, Ed.
Excellent. They're at the 47, it is.
It's the first time they've been in beach territory, I think, isn't it?
I think it is.
Now we got somebody has to come out more, and I think has. Equipment problem, Roger, something.
Yeah,
for,
Scott Darling came out, and oh, he's got a cleat mark or something. He got nicked, and there's a little bit of bleeding there.
Yeah, you know, you got to come out of games now.
Yep. Anyway, Madison runner gets maybe a yard.
The other Gettinger went in for him.
That was Walsh going forward for a couple, so we'll make it 2nd and 8. Lucas Walsh had a good game last week.
Yeah, he did. Both backs did.
Both backs did, for sure. Saucier's also in there, 33.
Yeah, I think he's one of the captains, too. Lucas Walsh, one of the seniors out there. Yeah, they kind of set the pace last week, him and Luce in the front line in the first half.
Absolutely.
But they were after that, pretty much unheard of the rest of the way.
Okay, 2nd down, about 8. Moody calls signals. Defense is all uptight on this wishbone. And they just bull forward for a couple more.
Yeah, they're not getting the holes they were last week. That's the important part.
And that looked like Luce following a block by Walsh. So we've got a 3rd and 4 down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we're under 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in quarter number 2, and Darling is still on the bench. He'll have to tape that up before he gets him back in the football game.
Exactly. John Gettinger is in there, number 61, replacing Darling. 3rd down. Oh, there's a lot of motion, and there's the flag.
That might be an automatic first down here.
Yeah. Looks like they were drawn offside.
Beach has already made a lot of mental mistakes here in the first half. A lot of little 5-yard penalties, but you keep those up, it's going to end up haunting you a little bit, because this just gives them an automatic first down.
Sure.
And now great field position.
Yeah, they move it down to the 37, and this certainly is good field position, and start moving downfield a little bit here.
You don't jump offside here, and you stop them. It's 4th and 3 or 4 from the 40 to 42, and you may force them to punt again.
Exactly. Well, now we're definitely in 4-down territory, and Seagulls will, Madison rather, will be going for it all the way. They split 2 boys down at the bottom of your screen. Walsh is the only deep back. And Moody hands off on a delay to Walsh, who is nailed by Salamanca.
Yeah, beautiful ankle tackle that time. Also, number 61, John Gettinger. Came up there to mop the rest of the play up.
Yep.
Good defensive play by both those guys as Gettinger comes out now, and I think Scott Darling may have gone back in.
Yes. Jamie Gettinger also going into the lineup. Now he's coming back off the field. It's a 2nd down and about 14. And we're back up here around the 40-yard line.
Again, the same formation is shown. I think they'll throw out of this one this time. That was a setup play, I think.
Yes, now he is going to throw. He is hit as he throws, but he gets it away very nicely to Lacasse.
Wide open,
Lacasse bounces forward. The spot will be everything. I don't think he's got the first down.
13 yards that play. He was wide open that time.
Wide open. And Moody got hit as he threw the ball, but still was able to complete the pass. It'll set up a 3rd and 1.
And it's amazing, too. Today is miserable. Both quarterbacks are throwing the ball well. Last week was a lot better day. They couldn't buy a pass. But he's 3 for 3 now for 30 yards. Nothing long, but they're effective. They're 3rd and 1 now. That's all they need to do.
Well, they got 2 plays to get a yard. And it'll be the first down as he bulls his way over to the 25. Still down. Now he's getting up. And that was Loose, of course, their straight-ahead power runner.
Loose has not ran for more than 5 yards in one shot. I mean, that's a complete turnaround from last week.
Sure.
1st and 10, ball right at the 25-yard line, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. That's another important thing. This is not the change of a quarter here.
That's right.
They have to score till halftime.
This is the half coming up. Walsh is the one back in this set. He's on a delay, and he is stopped. That delay was working brilliantly for them last week. They're having a little more trouble with it today. But they pick up a couple more, and let's make it a 2nd and 8 now. It gets a little more interesting here.
But the thing is, Madison, I think they must have all 3 timeouts left. I don't remember them using one yet.
True.
So I think they'll work the clock now to their advantage here. Beach stops them here. They go into halftime, getting the football back in the second half, plus going in with a 15-0 lead. But if they score here, we'll remember that kickoff that was called back.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll be a big momentum boost for Madison if they can get in here, Raj.
Walsh and Stroud both split down at this end. And there's Loose getting stopped, but picks up another 4 or 5 yards as he gets over the 20-yard line. It's getting serious. We're down to about the 18-yard line now.
Yeah.
It'll be a 3rd down and 3.
Don Dubois in Bigford that time came up big. Yeah, see, they'll use one of their timeouts. 1:19 left in quarter number 2. They still have plenty of time here to move the football. It's about a 6-yard pickup.
We'll be wrapping up a 19-inch color TV donated by Coca-Cola Bottling at halftime. Donations are $1.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 when play resumes.
Yep.
They need to get to the 15-yard line.
Just about.
For a first down. They'll still have they got 1:19. They still have at least a timeout or 2 left, too, in this half. But the Beach stalls this drive here. And I think whoever Beach stalls them here, if Madison scores here, that could be a big momentum switch, too.
Right, either way,
the second half.
whichever way this goes, right here. This is a very important drive, I think, in this game. You're right.
Because, you can't emphasize the elements enough, the slippery field. And Madison doesn't want to be kicking the ball over to Orchard Beach in the 3rd quarter, still being down 15-0.
For sure. 3rd down as we take a look at the folks down below. Mark is picking out all those umbrellas. Actually, it's a pretty good crowd considering you have to sit out here in this kind of rain and misery and all that. And
eventually, maybe we'll pan on the Madison side because they still brought a pretty good crowd.
They always do, They're a rabid bunch up there.
Well, there's nobody else in Madison right now, is there?
3rd down and 3 or 4. Okay, out of the eye. And it's going to be Loose, and he's going to get tackled, dropped, and fumble, and the Beach has it.
Yes!
I think it's Todd Polk. Yes, indeed.
Wow, what a big play that time.
And
Todd
how?
Polk. That's a big turnover.
That does it. Didn't see who made the hit. Didn't catch who made the hit.
Todd Polk, most important thing here is the Beach comes up with the ball. Minute 13. Brian Tucci.
Yeah, we're told Brian Tucci is a kid that hit loose and sprung the ball loose.
Now it's,
every which way but loose.
Now it's important here the Beach don't cough it up on this. I'm sure they'd like to run the timeout.
Oh, look at that. There's a delay. Hand off to Gerard.
Give him room and he's gone, folks.
And he's caught and dropped, but a huge gain by Dane Gerard.
Timeout, Beach.
They're down to the 37, 38-yard line. A delay to Gerard. We haven't seen that play yet this year, I don't believe. That's a new one.
Fumble was caused by number 11, Brian Tucci.
Didn't see where the original line of scrimmage
I think they were
was.
down around the 27, Andy.
Okay. Well, it's another 36-yard pickup. Longest play of the half right there. Yeah, 1,508 yards in 8 games that he's gained. That's just running the ball. He's actually caught the ball. He's thrown the ball.
Yes.
Special teams-wise, what he's
done.
He's had a touchdown call back here today.
Right.
Punt return.
Punt return.
Like we've mentioned it before, we've been doing these games for what, 10, 12 years or so, and don't remember seeing just one player being able to turn a game around.
Exactly.
Yeah, not to mention the defensive aspect of it. When a guy plays, 95% of the game probably, or more, I don't think you know if he leaves the field.
He rarely leaves the field. And through it all, he's been almost injury-free.
Exactly.
I'm sure he's had some nicks and bruises that we're not aware of, but generally speaking, he's stayed healthy.
And the Beach may not want to run the clck out here. They may want more.
First down. There's another handoff to David, and he's still on his feet. Now he's dropped.
Tried to get
lose a yard probably.
Actually, he had a third effort that time. He was popped first, and then he went back. And second time he got hit and tried to crawl around that defender and was hit 3 times before it actually turns out to be a loss of 1.
Yeah,
but
the Seagulls took another time out here.
Yeah, they should have another one too, I think.
Right.
I think that's their second. 55 seconds left in the first half. They lead this thing 15-0. The only thing they don't want to do now is cough the ball up in an interception with a run back or a fumble with a pickup and a run back. So if you're going to throw the ball, you want to make sure that at least you don't get sacked back there and somebody doesn't pick it up and run 60 yards with it.
That's right.
Sure, this point last week, they were going to halftime trailing the football game. I think it was 14-0 at halftime.
That's
and
right.
Now they're getting ready to go into halftime, 15, maybe more. But winner of this game, again, there's no tomorrow, Raj.
Nope.
The loser goes home, and the winner plays the winner of Lisbon and Jay. If it's Jay and if the Beach wins, then the Jay will play here. If it's Lisbon, if the Beach wins, the Beach will travel to Lisbon.
Correct.
Shotgun.
2nd and 11, and Don just pitches it back to Gerard, and that's loose.
Yeah, that's
and they're going to argue that one out.
I think offensive, they're both tussling for it. It should be still the Beach's
Gerard
ball.
And the defensive player, whoever it is, it remains Seagull ball.
Dangerous play.
Yep.
2-yard loss now. So 3rd and 13 and 42 seconds and
clock running.
They may save the timeout if they got one left. See what they do on this play maybe. If they're successful, they may use one if they have one left.
Clock is still running. We're down to under 30 seconds as Don calls signals. And now he's going to, on the option, pitch it back to Polk, who's just going to fall forward. Well, it'll go to 4th down. The clock continues to run. The Seagulls may be content to just let it run out.
I think they're going to let it run low enough for one play. I'm not sure. And they may call timeout then. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they might let it run, too.
I think they've decided that they've played a half of football. And they have. So we've completed half of football here in Old Orchard Beach. And our score at halftime, Old Orchard 15, Madison 0. Andy and Mark and I will be back with some halftime stats, some chatter, and just some inane conversation. We'll be back with all that in the second half right after this message.
Curl Up and Dye, a premier styling salon, keeps getting better and welcomes Jennifer to its crew of the finest professional stylists in the area. They offer full-service, ultra-modern hairstyling and coloring for men and women, facials, manicures, and waxings, and pride themselves on personal professional service. Let them help you decide what you need to look great. Private styling rooms, a convenient location, and the finest stylists offering service tailored to your needs. Sum up Curl Up and Dye. Why not make an appointment today?
We're getting ready for the start of the second half, and Andy has some stats of the first half.
Yes, unofficial stats. First of all, for the Madison, what a difference a week makes.
Yes,
not only on the scoreboard, but in stats as well. Remember last week, I mean, it was 2 or 3 to 1. I think Madison was winning this thing in stats and score. This week, they're passing, rushing-wise, Raj, they have 12-plus yards. And passing, they're 3 for 3 for 30 yards, for 42 yards in the first half. And they have 2 fumbles that they've lost. And those would prove to be, I think, big fumbles, too. Rushing-wise for the Beach, I have them at 58 yards, most of those for Dave Gerard. Passing-wise, they were 3 for 4 in the passing department for 73. I have them at 131 yards to 42 yards. Gerard, in passing-wise, he's 1 for 1 for 23 yards. And DuBois is 2 for 3 for the rest of it, which is 50 yards. Scoring-wise, it was all done in the first quarter. 1 yard Gerard run, a Parker kick. Beach was up with 1:08 to go. I think that was off the Dave Gerard pass, too. And to Todd Polk, right, at the 1 yard line. And then that was at 1:08, and the kick by Parker was 7-0. And then a 24-yard pass play from DuBois to Hubbard. Just made it in the end zone with 56 seconds left. That was off a fumble at the 25-yard line from Madison on the ensuing drive. And a 2-point pass conversion from Gerard from the shotgun to DuBois, who found himself in the end zone. That was also a beautiful play. And we are 15-0 now at halftime. And I think Orchard gets the ball.
I think you're right.
And, you know, with the weather, talking to Earl Goodwin, who's one of the officials this afternoon,
yes,
at halftime, he said that the field is getting pretty muddy in the middle, but he says still right now the outside's good drainage in this field. He says the outsides still aren't too bad, and it could be worse, he said. So we'll have to see how that plays into effect. Of course, on a day like today, you don't want to be trailing 15-0 and kicking the ball away. You know, I'd be almost willing to say, and I'm not going to predict this, but it could be an onside kick here.
Yeah, and they're setting up way over here on this side of the field. And the Beach has 2 guys back there. Bickford is one of them, and Dave Gerard is the other.
Yeah, I don't buy the long kick here, but you never know.
Okay, let's see. And it's going to go back out to the center of the field, actually the other side. Bickford picks it up on a dead run, and Jim gets out to about the 34-yard line where the Seagulls go on offense, make it the 33.
Yeah, I didn't have to buy it. They did it anyway.
Yep.
As you may see the drops right in front of the camera. There's a pretty good little rain coming now. So we start the second half with the Beach up with this thing 15-0. They have the ball, and they've controlled the first half. Madison's caused their own mistakes. They fumbled the ball twice away. The Beach had fumbled a few times, too, but they've gained their own fumble recoveries. Again, Madison had towards the end of the first half, Raj, had a chance to pound something in and cough the ball up again.
Another fumble. Okay, we're in first down situation, and Beach tries to go a little wide. Todd Polk, the ball carrier, picks up a couple.
Yeah, Madison on the sideline, too. They're yelling and screaming. They're still fired up. I think they think here if they can get the defense to set the tempo on the first drive to the Beach and get the ball back, then they still have a chance in this one. There's plenty of time for football here.
Second down, make it 9. Give Polk a yard on the run.
That's Polk's first yard carrying the football this afternoon.
Yeah, and, you know, he had a fairly good week last week. I think he gained over 60 yards or so. And I expected a little bit more of his work this afternoon. There goes Gerard with the first down, I do believe. Yes, indeed.
He carries Strout out of bounds with him, as actually Strout carries him out of bounds. It's going to be about a 10-yard pickup. And it is a first down for Orchard. Again, just, boy, I tell you, how he can get on the outside on a wet field like this and just build up speed and then just push a couple players forward. You got to figure the kid weighs, we mentioned it before, 155, somewhere around that. It's incredible.
It is.
We see it week in and week out.
First down as the rain picks up. First and 10, the Beach at their own 45. Up the middle this time, and David will get another 4 or 5.
Of course, you know, the thing you worry about the most on a field like this, where it gets a little bit treacherous now to play on, is not only coughing up the football, but you risk an injury, too. Turning an ankle the wrong way or a knee or something. But, you know, you just hope that it stays injury-free for both sides.
Tucci checks into the lineup for the Seagulls. He'll be at the top of your screen, split wide, as Parker will sit out this second down play. Second and closer to 6 than 5.
Tell you,
just short of the 50.
Yeah, the next score in this one's going to be the big one, I think.
This is Gerard. David still on his feet, falls forward. We'll get maybe 2 or 3.
Polk, I think,
It wasn't
Raj.
Gerard, I'm sorry. Polk is correct.
Couple yards.
Yep.
Third and about 3, as you mentioned. Ball at the 48-yard line of Madison. Big third down situation here, especially for Madison's defense. They'd like to, if they stop him here, they force a kick. So third and about 3.
Third down as Polk checks back in. We're in the straight wishbone. Gerard with the handoff. He will get the first down, indeed. And a little bit more. Over the 45, make it about the 44-yard line, and nice field position on this first drive by the Beach.
Yeah, you got to give credit too to the line. They're just, they're just pushing forward also and making a Lord, helping them out, getting 2 or 3 yards a pop here. They want a new ball. I think Scott Darling had just asked for a new ball. So first and 10 for the Beach. Ball at the 44-yard line. 9:45 left to go in the third quarter. The Beach up 15-0.
Donnie's going to throw. He's got a bit of a rush on him. He's going to have to run out of there. And will end up picking up maybe a yard or 2, but not much more than that. Tucked it in, decided to run. Probably a wise decision on his part.
Well, actually picked up about 4. What they're going to give him 3. They're going to move it up. You're right. Yeah. You're right. You get better eye than the official than the yards marker guy does. He can't see his glasses so wet anyways, right? He was telling us that downstairs.
Oh, God, yes.
He had that marker move 4 yards up the field, and it was a gain of 1. It's wet, folks.
It is miserable.
We can laugh because we're dry. We're up here eating a hot dog and drinking
I'm
a
having
soda.
a good time. Second down, and this is David, I think.
Yeah. He'll fall forward for a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll bring up still third and about 7.
Hot dogs were exceptionally good this week.
They were. They were free for me.
Finishing this one.
They were great. It was really, really good. Free hot dogs are the best. There's no question. Taste-wise, texture, you name it, it's great. Third and 7, 9 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Beach still up 15-0.
Gerard on the pitch. And flag ball.
Late flag. That's going to be interesting. That could go either way. It could be a face mask or it could be an offensive hold. And I think it is an offensive hold. They're pointing towards Bill Adams. He raises his hand. He's guilty. He admitted it. Nice article in the local papers. If people didn't get a chance to get it and get the Journal Tribune for Friday, nice article in there about the Beach and about Bill Adams. I'd encourage you to read that. Nice young man.
Interesting kid. Well, we're going to repeat third down, obviously, because of the penalty. They walk off 10 because of the holding, and we're looking at third and 12. The ball comes back out to the Seagull 46.
Yeah, that ball is where it is now, and it's that penalty happens. They may decline it, forcing the punt, but see, they were not punting range. They would have went for it.
Let's see if he decides to go to the air. Rain or no rain. Don is going to throw it, and he does. Oh, through the hands of the defender intended for Gerard down there, who was pretty well covered. And it'll set up a 4th and 12.
4th and 12, clock stops, 8:37 left in quarter 3, and the rain seems to pick up, and it's supposed to. It's supposed to be a driving rain by this evening. We're just hoping that holds off.
The monsoon is struck.
Yeah. And again, we thought that the team, maybe with the way the weather was going, the team leading at halftime may just be pulling this one off. This is going to be a hard one to come back from. Not impossible. It's only 2 touchdowns. You still have 20 and a half minutes of football left.
This is true.
Well, let's see if Hubbard can get a roll this time. Maybe a bunt.
Try. Oh, and there's what's going to happen with this kind of weather. Jerry picks it up, tries to run, cannot. That's not a fumble. No. And Madison will take over at the 45-yard line of the Seagulls.
Yeah, big break there. It's not a fumble recovery because he did catch, ended up losing.
That's right.
However, how many yards? 10?
Just about. Well, there's another break, and it goes the other way this time, and the Bulldogs will get a 1st and 10. Just inside the Seagull 45. So they get an opportunity here, and let's see what they can do. Well, we're going to see more of this. This isn't over yet.
No, this isn't over yet.
See more fumbles and all kinds of stuff.
See it from both sides, probably.
Sure. This is just beginning here in this second half.
But if ever they had a break, this is it right here.
This is another one.
And Stroud is a quarterback.
The quarterback. We saw that in the first quarter, if you'll recall. He's the additional running back that they're using right now, and he'll pick up a good gain on that, about 7 or 8 yards.
Well, evidently he's the backup quarterback, and they feel that he's more of a run threat quarterback, so they're going to use him. They need to keep the ball on the ground and get some yards right now.
Yeah, and he gets a good 7 or 8, so we're looking at a 2nd and 2 or 3, and field position becomes far more important now as they get down to the beach 37.
Yeah, they just may stick with him in there for a while.
Out of the wishbone, Stroud calling signals, and Stroud is caught and dropped. No gain on the play.
And that's exactly the second play that they used, Raj, after from the line of scrimmage in the opening the game up. And this time, he got 6 yards on it the first time, and this time he doesn't get very much. Actually, no gain, or maybe 1.
They gave him a yard, I guess, just for falling forward. So we're going to look at a 3rd and 2 now. But, of course, we're in 4-down territory, so we'll get 2 downs to pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, they need to get to the 35, just barely inside the 35. With 7:10 to go in quarter number 3.
And still out of the wishbone. Stroud's still the quarterback. Pitches. Now they're going to throw.
Oh, wide open out there.
Throws to the other side, and that's going to be incomplete. No,
they're going to catch it.
And the flag falls.
But I'll tell you, they had somebody deep downfield who was wide open also on the play. And that one's going to be Madison, I think, right?
It's a catch, and 2 flags fell on that.
Well, I saw the beach cheering, pointing the other way, so I think it's going to be on Madison. They're talking to Captain Polk now about it. If it is, that's not only takes back a 1st down, but it's a big play against Madison. An eligible receiver downfield.
Right.
I thought he was going deep with it. There was nobody within 20 yards of the receiver downfield.
Then again, he may not be able to throw deep.
Exactly.
This was loose throwing the ball. It'll now it may be loss of down as well, Andy.
Yeah, it is.
Ineligible. They're showing 3rd.
Yeah, still 3rd, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 now rather than 3rd and a short 2. So as you see, also see the Madison crowd down there. They're lined up down in their blue and yellow raincoats, rain gear. Good crowd from both sides. For a day like today, it's a real good crowd.
It's amazing. Boy in motion as the numbers start getting muddied. Now it's Moody who's going to throw. He's coming back over here and almost picked up by Don Dubois, cutting in front of Stroud, the intended receiver. A lot of other good defenders down here as well. Hubbard was here. Billy Adams wasn't far away.
Well, the thing is, Moody took so long when he dropped back into the pocket. He was basically staring the receiver down, and Dubois made his move and just timed it perfectly. If that ball's thrown in just about a foot shorter, Dubois has himself a catch.
Yep. We've got a 4th down and 6.
Yeah, 6:39 left in the 3rd quarter, and the clock stopped. But Madison shows they're going to punt, Raj, on the beach 40-yard line.
I don't think the beach is buying it, but Gerard is dropping back deep now.
Oh, there's a mistake right there.
Broderick jumped off, and he's kicking himself, the ground, anything that he can find. Right now, he's a very unhappy young man.
I wouldn't want to be in front of his foot right now.
Yep. That changes the whole situation. They go from a 4th and 6 to a 4th and 1.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're going to go now.
They're going to go for it for sure. Well, and the kids are just saying, get back in the line, CP.
Right. Just make the big hit now in 4th and 1, and you're the hero again.
The world is not ended.
That's right, didn't it? Sun will come out maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe not tomorrow, but like it normally does in a case like this. 3 or 4 days maybe. Well, 4th and 1, Raj.
Out of the I formation, look for the deep back, probably loose, to just run it up the gut someplace. And that's the handoff and the first down.
Right up the middle.
Yep.
That's loose. Gain of about 2 or 3.
And another first down.
Yeah, only needed 1, gain 3.
So we're down to the 33-yard line now. Clock continues to work its way down as they move the chains, and we pause for that. And the rain is just coming down in sheets right now. Just a nasty place to be on this afternoon if you're out on that field. 6:25 left in the third quarter. It's 15-0 in favor of the Seagulls.
And the Bulldogs have more life.
They do indeed. Two-boy split. Eye back. In motion. And there's the pitch. That flag will be called on the boy who came in motion, moved before the snap. He went forward before the snap. I'm sure it'll be a procedure call. And, backfield in motion. So they're going to call that back. And they may decline this penalty, though, you know, with the loss.
Well, yeah, they're talking to him now. It'll be, sure, if they decline it, it'll be second down and about 15 rather than first and 15, Raj. So, of course, they're going to decline it.
So it'll be second down and 14, let's call it.
14?
Which
okay.
is fine.
6 minutes and 4 seconds left in quarter number 3 here. Actually, the clock starts moving, so it'll be under 6 minutes when they snap the ball. Moody comes back into the lineup. He's back in there. You know, it was nice seeing Stroud in there. I'm sure he doesn't throw the ball as well as Moody does.
Right.
But he was pretty effective. But, yeah, almost putting themselves in passing situations here.
Field is getting very muddy just where they happen to be right now. That could have an effect on people slipping and sliding. And there's a drop, and the ball is recovered by the Beach.
And it was motion anyways on Madison.
Yeah.
I think it was what it's going to be.
Brian Tucci fell on it.
I don't even think I saw a flag, but it seemed like everybody left but the quarterback.
Yeah, there is no flag.
No.
And it's a recovered fumble, and that's that. And it's just that spot in the field, I swear. It just...
you called it.
Well, you never know.
3 fumbles now lost for Madison.
And we're down to 5:35 here in this third quarter. The Beach have avoided another potential problem offensively by Madison and go back on offense themselves. 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
Well, C.T. Broderick's kicking the grass still on the sidelines, but he has no need to now. They've got the football.
Everything's fine, C.T.
Broken play,
yeah,
maybe.
Broken play. Donnie runs it back this way, just trying to avoid the flow, and drops forward for a gain of a yard, maybe. 2nd and 9.
You know, it's nice if you're going to have a broken play to at least turn it upfield and get something out of it.
Right.
That time he was able to get 1 yard. And more importantly here, you want to hold the football. That's the most important thing right now. With clock moving, 5:10 left in quarter number 3. The Beach could use up a couple more minutes off the quarter. Try to march things down. I don't expect any throwing the football now. I think you're just basically staying on the ground.
Straight wishbone, 2nd down. Looks like Todd Polk.
Trying to direct his way through traffic that time.
Yeah, just sort of picking his way through the flowers there, and he gets another 3 or 4.
They seem to be having a lot more success inside running the football this week, too. The line's doing a good job opening those small holes so they can bust over for at least 2 or 3 yards of pop. Last week, it was a little tough running at first.
Got a 3rd and, about 4 yards to go. Ball sits at the 44-yard line of the Seagulls. Polk is on the wing. And Gerard is going to bust through for the 1st down.
Wow, he was 1 tackle away from possibly breaking that one.
He was gone.
Everybody else, Rod, seems to slip and slide on that field, and Polk seems to gain momentum.
That's right.
It's almost like he's got flippers on. Ball at the 43-yard line now of, actually 48.
48.
With 4 minutes and 10 seconds in the clock moving left, and he gives the Beach another 1st down.
Glode and Bigford and Chris Hall and all the rest of those good interior linemen doing a big job here this afternoon.
And you got players in that lineup right now that are playing that are banged up too, and they just, they just refuse to sit out.
Gain of a yard up the middle, 2nd and 9. Brian Tucci checking in, Keith Parker checking out. And Tucci will probably be split wide on this play as in his end position.
All the scoring done in quarter number 1 in about a 15-second span.
Everybody stays in tight. 2nd down, Don is going to throw. He's looking to the sideline. He's looking for Brian Tucci. He's got Brian Tucci. And now they're saying...
Yes, he's got it.
It is a catch. And it is a completed pass.
At the 20-yard line, I believe.
You got it. Just inside the 20, the 19.
27-yard pass.
Well, Tucci came into the lineup with that play from the bench, goes in for the one play and comes out.
And it's nice to see Brian Tucci on a receiving end. He's had a tough thing injury-wise here lately, and good, solid defensive player. And that time he comes up big. That ball just kind of waiting up there for somebody to catch it.
Parker back in for Tucci, and we're back to a first down situation here with a little over 3 minutes left, third quarter. Don trips coming out. And stumbles.
Still got the ball off to Gerard.
He did. He handed it off to Gerard. Missed it completely. Gerard is still on his feet. Touchdown.
He's in 19 yards. I'll tell you, it's like a pinball machine. He just bumps off people. It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Talk about an arcade player on the field.
Yep.
He just kind of bobbed and weaved and...
Bumper pool.
Oh, it's incredible. It really is. It looked like he was stopped 3 times there.
Other kids play football. He plays bumper pool. 19 yards.
On other bodies.
Gerard, bunka, 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 bunka. And he's in for the TD, and we've got a 21-0 score. 21 zip, and the Beach will go for 2. Gerard is on the wing. Donnie hangs onto the ball, and he's in for the 2.
Two-point conversion is good.
With 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Our score from Joe Regina Field, Old Orchard Beach 23, Madison nothing. Andy, Mark, and I will return for the rest of this third period right after this pause.
Hey, brand new gift shop. Gifts galore from Maine and beyond for every taste and budget. Route 1, Scarborough. In the past year and a half, the new Amanda Mays has established itself serving up the finest breakfast in the area, and with good reason. The freshest ingredients, big portions, small prices, friendly service, and great gossip combine to give your day a winning start. There are specials every day: soups, chowders, sandwiches, something for everyone, and it's all available for takeout. Plus, they cater any event. For a very pleasant dining surprise, try Amanda Mays, where good friends meet and make new ones.
Sometimes you just want to do the same old thing. When you need photocopies at reasonable rates, you want to visit Copy It again. Multiple copies, collated, stapled, or bound are no problem for Copy It's high-speed copier. Don't go anywhere else for copies up to 36 inches wide or for blueprints. But when you want some color in your life, go to Copy It. Copy It's full-color copier reproduces photos and artwork like you wouldn't believe and gives pizzazz to business documents. Whether you want the old or the new, go to Copy It for all your...
And we're ready for the kickoff as Mark picks up Jerry Hubbard with the kick. On the dead run, picked off, I think that's loose. And whoever it is, anyway, is dragged down just over the 35.
That was probably the most one complete turnaround game that we ever saw, other than some
one of the
regular
most
season
exciting games we ever did, too, in all the years, because it's one that we always remember.
And these teams have played some memorable ones.
Sure have. We remember the Madison Riot game, too.
Yeah, and the game last week we won't forget for a while, the double overtime.
That's right. Okay, first down for the Bulldogs as they pick up the ball at their own 39-yard line. They are in deep trouble. The Mad Dogs. They are in bad trouble here. Yeah. Trailing 23-zip on this rain-soaked field.
Yeah, they may be forced to go to the air here.
They're going to have to do things they don't want to do, and the Beach couldn't be happier. Now they're going to throw it to the flat. Nice pass, and a nice completion to Saucier. Still on his feet, down at the 50 for the first down.
Yeah, he'll get a first down. Good pass. Passed it up short that time. Went underneath, and that guy was all alone. Good 11-yard pickup.
R.J. Saucier, pass receiver, now beating up his his teammates, telling him, you got to get fired up. We can do it. We can still win this game.
Well, they could still win it because we still have time. We still have over 14 minutes to go in this football game. Score before the quarter here, and they're down only by 2 touchdowns left. But I think it's going to be very tough going here with the ball slippery and field conditions, and the Beach eventually will have to get the football.
Absolutely. Moody is at quarterback. He has everybody split wide. They've just got to do something different. And it's got to be throwing the ball at this point. They do it again, and it is incomplete. Lots of people in around the intended pass receiver was Lacasse.
Brian Tucci comes up nicely that time.
Yep.
You know, we say they want to do things differently, but they're 4 for 6 now in the passing department, which isn't too bad. All for short yards. They're averaging around about 11 yards a pass completion. They've thrown for 41 yards thus far. Nothing damaging, but good enough to move you downfield in a hurry.
Sure is.
But that stops the clock, too, with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in quarter number 3. 23-0 now. Old Orchard leads this thing. 15 points in the first and now 8 points in the third quarter. Bulldogs 2nd down and 10 from midfield.
And they come out with a one-back set, split a couple boys wide, up and top on your screen, and set the boy back in motion. That's loose in motion on the 2nd down play. And it's going to be a screen that is not as successful as it should have been.
I'll tell you, Bickford made one heck of a play, Rod. He was going for the quarterback, saw the screen, and just turned completely around, adjusted to it, and just lassoed the receiver. Only a gain of about 1 or 2.
It'll be a 3rd down and a long 8 as the ball is spotted at the on the Seagull side of the 50. We're down to about the Seagull 48-yard line. We're in that tough field area, although it looks a little drier maybe up at the other end. Drier in the sense that it isn't quite as muddy. 3rd down. And they're still in a long situation. Look for another pass play, we would imagine, with the one-back set. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Bickford is loose, and he finds his man. The pass is complete. Gain of a yard.
Yeah, gain of a yard. Bickford again. What can you say about him defensively?
Great play by Bickford. Tackled by Ralph Dubois on the pass receiver. The gain is good for, as we said, a yard.
A yard or 2 at the most.
So we got a 4th and 7.
Yeah, clock's still moving. We're down to a minute to go now in quarter number 3. And you don't get a first down here and you turn the ball over, I'm sure they're going to go for it here. They call a timeout, by the way, Raj. 55 seconds to go in quarter 3. I'm sure the decision's here, and they're going to go for it. Just what are they going to call?
Exactly. We've seen a great offensive game again this afternoon by David Gerard, so what else is new? But we're also watching a great defensive game being played by some of these people out there, and Jim Bickford certainly has to be congratulated for his efforts today. It's just going to... he's just a smart ball player, Andy. He figures out where he's got to be. He just has a good feel for this game. He understands this game, and he moves to the ball so well from his defensive position.
Yeah.
Just a bright kid, and he's proving it every day. Every time we do these games, week after week.
Yeah, and you know, Madison, from the line of scrimmage, one play, only 8 yards, 2 plays for only 6 yards rushing the ball.
Wow.
That's been their longest runs of the afternoon. That tells you a lot about it right there.
Does.
The interior line, the linebackers, everybody just stuffed up that middle because they haven't really run wide. They've run inside. And the Beach made the adjustments last week at halftime, and it's just continued on here.
This Seagull team has just gotten smarter and smarter as the season wore on, just adjusting to offenses rather, so brilliantly. This defensive team that you see out there, they don't get enough praise for the work that they do, and we just need to mention that because they do some wonderful work out there.
And they also help the offense out, forcing some. Well, I don't know if the weather's also forced the fumbles, but
they're going up for it here in 4th down. They have to, down 23 points.
Watch this play to the side.
Moody gets it away, and it's incomplete.
Bickford again knocks it down.
Oh, well, what can you say?
Yeah. I think they were trying to move a linebacker over as Walsh went in motion to the left. They were trying to get somebody to pull over to his side, and didn't fool anybody.
He is just one smart kid.
Thank you.
So
he's talking about
you.
Sorry. 50 seconds left in quarter number 3. Thought for a minute there some accolades were coming out already.
Come on. It's too early. you got to do the whole 4th quarter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Still going to hang around.
We got to tell you what a great game you played. Okay, first down for the Seagulls. They're at their own 46-yard line. Gerard in motion. And he's going to throw to the flat to Jerry Hubbard. Hubbard is going to, well, you saw it.
Yeah.
Do I need to tell you any more?
I'm going to say he's going to bulldog his way down.
Well, but you didn't.
But I didn't.
I'm so
I've
glad.
never said that.
No, we never heard it either. First down for the Seagulls as they get down to the 39-yard line, making the 40.
Yeah, 3 receptions for Hubbard now for 62 yards. And remember we talked about the passing game? We had a nice weather last week. These guys were like 1 for 17 between them.
That's right.
Well, between them, they've completed about a dozen passes this afternoon for over 100-something yards. So.
Very strange.
Funny game this is.
Yep, one back set and Gerard in motion. This is a new look. Ralph Dubois just bowls his way forward and will pick up another 4 or 5.
Well,
And boy, you can't have it any better than this if you're the Seagulls.
No, and I think it's just a case now where after that 4th down play just came up empty, I think the defense is really just sagging off now. I really do. I think they feel the momentum just completely gone. And that's going to end a quarter.
Yeah,
anyways,
we may
right
not
here.
get another play off here with 2nd and 6, and time is up. We've completed 3 quarters of play from Joe Regina Field in Old Orchard Beach, and our score, the Seagulls of Old Orchard Beach 23. The Bulldogs of Madison, nada, zip, not 0. And we'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this.
Party Castles is where party people go so they can get their parties off the ground. Party Castles has party supplies for every celebration. From more than a rainbow tableware to streamers, personalized balloons, and balloon delivery, Party Castles will give your party a lift. And if your special wedding day is fast approaching, a visit to Party Castles will delight you. Janine can help you with wedding invitations, rental of the wonderful balloon arch, and the wedding bell. For the most festive parties and the most beautiful weddings, you've got to get to Party Castles.
Nothing is tastier than fresh peaches, and Peaches Deli, 88 Saco Avenue, Old Orchard Beach, guarantees the freshness, quality, and homemade goodness of all of their food. Any time is a great time to enjoy a delicious specialty pizza or one of an almost unlimited variety of overstuffed subs. Call ahead and your order will be ready when you arrive. And be sure to pick up your favorite beverages, snacks, and Megabuck tickets. For homemade freshness and quality, nothing beats the fresh taste of Peaches. Guaranteed.
At Saka Redemption Center, redemption is our only business, so we give you the best service around. At Saka Redemption, we accept any quantity of returnables. We trust your honest pre-count. You won't stand in long lines. In fact, if you have young children or are disabled, we'll come to your car. And if your organization plans a bottle drive, team up with Saka Redemption. We'll give you 10% above their value and park our trailer for collection at your location or ours. So if you plan a bottle drive, call Saka Redemption at 283-8900 today.
Okay, we're back and ready for the 4th quarter.
This has been a strange day.
Isn't it ever? Great day. And there's a fumble, I believe.
Oh, man.
Yep, and Madison has recovered.
Well,
and the ball turns over at about the 35-yard line.
Well, the Beach could have turned a couple more minutes off of this one, Raj, but 5 seconds into the quarter, Madison gets more life.
Can you believe it? They just called off the 50-50 winner, and it was Mark Pickard.
Yeah, Mark Pickard.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you.
It's going to be tough for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're going to have to hear this one now. Especially if they win. If Beach wins this one, we'll be hearing this all the way to wherever we're going.
All the way next week. It's going to be rough.
There's going to be a wanted poster with scratched out now his picture on it everywhere we go. Oh, now we get another fumble.
Another fumble, and it goes the other way.
Oh, man. Well, we said fumbles are going to determine the outcome. Yeah, we get an injury now.
Jim Bickford picked it up. Number 74 is C.D. Broderick. He is down and hurt. And that becomes the important situation right now. But they're playing in the middle of that muddy area, and those things are just going to continue happening this afternoon.
So did you guys mention my name?
Of course.
Now the IRS is going to be calling me.
Well, C.T. Broderick gets up, a little bit shaken up there. I hope he's all right. He's
coming off.
Specialist.
He'll be all right.
Big, tough guy.
He'll come over, walk it off down here on the sidelines as he usually does, and then a couple of plays from now he'll be back in there.
Well, the Beach coughs it up with 5 seconds into the half. Madison gives it to him right back 4 seconds later. So the turnaround was at 9 seconds. Get your math out.
There you go. First down and 10 for the Seagulls. Tucci split wide at the bottom of your screen. Out of the wishbone, and Don delayed handoff to Gerard, and oh man, the slipping and sliding is going to happen. His feet just went out from under him.
A couple yard loss that time. The most important thing now in the field is stay away from injuries, and now is going to be the field conditions. Holding on to the football, and just using 3 minutes up on each drive.
Play some clock.
They lose about 3.
Yep, second and about 13. They're at the 39-yard line, just to establish that. Madison 39. And Don fakes one way, goes the other, and goes right up the middle. He could go all the way.
What a play at the line. What a fake he put on at the line. He still got the Madison players thinking about it down there. They had him right at the line. Fake handoff and bang, he's gone. Incredible, Raj. 38 yards.
11:02
DuBois
left here in the fourth quarter, and at 11:02, Don DuBois just up the middle. Nobody touched him. It's 29-0. Who would have predicted this one?
Thank you, Vanessa.
29-zip, and the Beach goes for the, looks like the one-point conversion. Gerard will be holding, and Parker will be kicking.
That was the jugular right there.
That sure
that
was.
touchdown.
And now they're going to fake that. David with the ball, and he's dropped. Lee was going to look to throw. He had Donnie in the end zone. Anyway, that goes for naught. And as we said, with 11:02 left here in the fourth quarter, it is now Old Orchard Beach 29, and Madison nothing.
Put a fork in it.
Yeah. Yep, I think you're right.
Warm up the buses.
Warm up the buses. 29-0. Well, you know, Don, for all his hard work this year, deserves that one.
He deserves that.
He hasn't scored that many points. He wouldn't as a quarterback anyway, but
it was such a great fake handoff.
It
and
really
a turnaround
was.
right up the middle. I mean, everybody just fell for it. It's
and
incredible.
nobody put a hand on him. Nobody touched him. He just went.
Yeah, you got to figure what the
busted up,
linebackers were on that
39 yards.
play. Just
yeah,
raised
exactly.
by everybody. There was nobody there. It was like almost like a quarterback sneak for 38 yards. Everybody looking, I think, for the Dave Gerard handoff is what they were looking for. Well, it's 11:02 left, 29-0. The Beach leads this. Again, the winner of this game, if Lisbon beats Jay, we're going up to Lisbon. If the Beach holds on to this one, and if Jay upsets Lisbon, which is what we're hoping for, we'd love to do another game down here.
We want to play here.
We want to play here.
Then let Jay
bring on the rain,
right? Yeah,
bring on the rain.
Absolutely.
So who knows? And Jay's that we all know is a playoff team. They've been playing really good towards the end of the season, as they usually pick it up towards the end of the season. So I wouldn't even classify that as a runaway.
Jerry Hubbard's kick is going to be fielded at around the 30-yard line, and the ball carrier is dropped at about the 36 or 7.
Well, we get somebody on special teams now hopping off. 14, Raj, that's Bill Burke.
Billy Burke.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a hamstring or a knee or something there.
He is in a little bit of pain, helped out by Salamanca, who now runs back out on the field.
Yeah, he's in some pain down there. That hurt. It's amazing he even got to the sidelines. Tell you, we haven't seen a lot, for a small squad like this and some of the physical battles they've been in, we haven't seen a lot of serious injuries this year.
No, we haven't.
And
but Burke is hurting down here.
And you know, in field conditions like this, you just hope that
Carl Smith just picked him up. Picked him up literally and carried him and put him down on the bench over here.
Mention something about Carl Smith in a minute after this play also.
First down for the Madison kids as Moody drops back. He's looking to throw. He's got plenty of time. Now he gets rid of it and overthrows the receiver. That just sort of sailed out of his hands.
Yeah. A lot of time that time to throw. Pass goes incomplete. Second down now and 10. Clock stops. Plenty of time left. 10:50 in quarter number 4. And when Madison has the football, we may see a lot of this clock stoppage because of they're going to be just forced to throw the ball up now. And the Beach knows that. But looking at Carl Smith and reading something in the paper about him, he still holds, I think, the UMaine rushing record, over 4,000 yards.
Wouldn't surprise me. Of course, we know that he had pro tryouts and all that sort of stuff. This is a real
4,000 yards.
Top-class player. Okay, 2nd and 10. Out of the eye. Moody dropping back. Looking deep. Has a and intercepted. Picked off by David Gerard, who steps in front of the pass. Gerard's still on his feet. Gerard's still picking his way down here. Flags fall as David gets down to about the, where are we, 25-yard line, but I don't know where who the flags will be called on. We may get a clip. Usually goes, yes, it's going to be a clip. Earl Goodwin, the referee today, makes the call up here. So we'll be walking off 15, but nevertheless, it'll be... the fans are cheering down here, warm up the bus.
I cheered that 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Raj, what's Gerard done this afternoon, okay? He's got a 1 yard run.
1 yard run.
He's got that 2-point pass conversion.
That's right.
He's got a
pass.
punt return call back. He's got an interception return now.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had a 19-yard run earlier in the third quarter to put him up 15 to 9. That's about all you can say.
Yeah, it's been a slow day for David.
Yeah, it's been an average day at the office.
First down for the Seagulls.
Punch in, punch out.
And they'll pick up about 2 or 3 here as Ralph just bulls his way forward.
Yeah, Ralph will get you those tough yards up the middle.
Always. And that gets us down to the 43-yard line. A second down and about 7.
Actually, that marker looks more like it's... his glasses must be getting wet again. About a yard further back.
Yeah. Well, it's probably more like
about
second and 6. Yes, but he can't see the ball.
Can't see anything right now. Neither can I.
We're in the middle of the mud again, so anything can happen
I'm
here.
about to lose ink on my second pen.
Don pitches it out.
Oh, man.
And Todd Polk has it, and Polk is just bullying his way downfield.
Well, I'm going to use another cliche: when it rains, it pours.
Sure.
But, I mean, it's one of those things that's just going right.
Inside the 25, we're down to about the 24-yard line now with 9:47 left here in the fourth quarter. Oh, boy.
Some days you can't buy a yard. Some other days you can't do anything wrong.
Can't do anything wrong. And it's just been one of those days for this Seagull team this afternoon. First and 10 of the 24-yard line.
Wow, that's gutsy play, too, pitching the ball up when he was going down like that.
But when you're ahead 29-0, you can make those
Yeah, you can make
decisions.
those plays.
Sure. Inside handoff, Ralph Dubois bulls forward, gets another 3 or 4. His kind of running, his kind of day, I guess.
And the Beach will start slowing it definitely up a little more, taking their time, coming in and out of the huddle. We have 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. The Beach looks like going to the Western Maine Finals at this point. With 9 minutes left, leading this thing 29-0, and driving here looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good indeed. We've got a second down, call it 6. They're at the 20-yard line. Everybody up tight, second down. Handoff will go to
Bill Adams.
Bill Adams is in there offensively, correct. And Billy will get another yard. Adams will just move it forward. This is not the first time Adams has been on offense this year. We've seen him replace people along the way.
Well, you know, Raj, offensive and defensively, I think the only thing they said that he hadn't played was quarterback and tackle this year. He's played almost every other position out there that he practices for. He can play anywhere.
Sure.
And another kid who weighs about 155.
Yeah, right.
And who doesn't get injured that much. I mean, he has been played through injuries. Hits kids 30, 40 pounds heavier than him. Leads the team in tackles, by the way.
Yep. And he's in the offensive backfield right now.
Right.
Just a temporary stall there. Okay, we got a third down, and now we got motion. Parker jumps off, and we'll walk 5 yards off the Beach.
Well, the little 5-yard mistakes that they've made all afternoon really hasn't cost them here in this one, and that seems to be their only flaw here today. They're offsides and then just a little 5-yard penalties, but it hasn't really cost them that much. They've had most of the penalties called against them, I think.
Right.
Flipping penalty, I don't think Madison's been called with too much. I don't remember them being penalized this afternoon. It's amazing, too, because with the penalties going one-sided like that, you'd think that that team would be leading.
Exactly. So I've got a third down now. Let's make it 3rd and 11. Adams is on the wing, and Don is going to roll out. Come back inside, has some more room, and Donnie could feel that one.
Boy, he's having one.
They find him at the 7-yard line, but he almost broke another one.
He can smell the goal line
he
now.
He sure could.
You know? Well, 17-yard pickup by Dubois.
1st and goal for the Seagulls as they spotted about the 8.
Yeah, last 2 carries for Don Dubois, 55 yards. So first and goal at the 8, 7:15 left in quarter number 4. The Beach again trying to put the nail in the coffin for the final time.
It's going to be inside. It's good. Ralph is in. Yes, touchdown, Ralph Dubois. Everybody's scoring, Andy.
Yeah, everybody. You and I aren't.
No, well.
That's another thing now, but don't get into that.
That's another game entirely. Touchdown, and it's 35-0 for the Seagulls.
Now that 125-mile bus trip gets a little longer.
And wetter.
Yeah, who would have ever thought this after a double overtime game?
Exactly.
The rivalry these two teams have, and the weather conditions the way they are. You know,
we've got a blowout. Gerard Holes Parker will attempt the extra point, and it is blocked. 7:05 left in our football game, boys and girls, and our score: Old Orchard Beach 35, Madison zip, and we'll be back with more fourth quarter action right after this.
For classic American fare with a continental flair, come to Silver Spoons, Southern Maine's casual dining alternative.
Maine Glass is the first place you should call when you're looking for expert auto glass and sunroof installation. Our trained professionals are NGA certified technicians, equipped with the latest tools to do the job right for you. Our customer service staff can handle your insurance claim, arrange a time convenient to your schedule, for local pickup and delivery of your vehicle if needed. And in most cases, we can do the work the same day that you call. At Maine Glass, when we say we do it right for you, we mean it.
Right for you.
Hi, this is Bill O'Neill, owner of Bill O'Neill's House of Rock and Roll, Route 1 in Saco. For the past 7 years, we've been your local music store. No need to leave town to find the music you want. Great selection, good prices every day on CDs, tapes, and records. Be sure to check out our large selection of used CDs with over 1,000 titles to choose from. We're open daily, 10 till 8, Sundays, noon to 5. Major credit cards accepted. Come in. Bill O'Neill's House of Rock and Roll, Route 1, Saco.
We're back for the kickoff, and Jerry Hubbard gets his toe into it. Heads for the sidelines and out of bounds. Well, it is 35-0, and up here in the booth with us is Jay Harper, who does all the Thornton Academy games. And Jay, you had a chance to meet a couple of these Beach kids, you were saying?
Yeah, Roger. I had a chance just 3 or 4 weeks back to meet Todd Polk, one of the outstanding running backs for Old Orchard Beach. And sad to say, this is my first opportunity to come down and see an Old Orchard game live at the expense of Thornton Academy this year. Being out of the playoffs, here I am, and I was glad to come down here and see these guys play. They work so hard, and they do so many things well. They don't always get the notoriety that a Class A school does, and Old Orchard's been doing it for years and years, and they have a great program down here, a lot of good coaches, and boy, to see this kid Gerard run the football, he is an exciting back, and right now the quarterback Dubois is having a heck of a game as well, and this is a lot of fun to watch. I think Old Orchard enjoying this wet, muddy weather here, and certainly a good afternoon for football, and with a shutout on the board, easily now coasting into the finals here for Class C next week.
All right, kick by Hubbard is again out of bounds. And that's going to be come up field, and I think with 7:05 left in quarter number 4, gonna pin him back again to kick, Raj.
Well, he's having trouble with the wet weather here, and Madison, this may be their best play so far in the second half, is just letting the ball keep going out of bounds and moving up the field a little bit, trying to increase their field position, because it appears right now that's the best they can look for, Andy.
Hey, Jay, real quickly, Thornton, the last game that you saw, the Thornton-Cheverus game, that had to be a tough ending, since they had gone up too, gone up, lead up at Cheverus. You think they had some momentum going? What happened there?
Unfortunate ending for Thornton. The last 2 weeks of the season, they went into the locker room with the lead and came out and just got totally outplayed in the second half. Last week they didn't get totally outplayed, but special teams really killed them. 2 bad snaps from center on punts, and Thorne Academy really lost their momentum and their really desire to play, it looked like.
Well, Hubbard this time gets the ball in the playing field area and up to about the midfield stripe, maybe about the 48, and Madison takes over, and a matter of just pride now, I think, finish this one out. 7 minutes left. They've got the football. They're down by 35-0. They need more than a miracle here, I think, to come back.
Great rivalry between these two teams. As you know, Andy, you've seen a lot of them, and I, of course, read about them all. And Madison, a great team, and to get to play each other back-to-back, it's been happening all over high school football in the state of Maine, a lot in Class A last week. And this one right here, Old Orchard dominating these two games, certainly winning in overtime last week and dominating this week. Certainly bodes well, but, you know, this rivalry continue, and Madison will try to bounce back next year.
I know last year, the last regular season game Roger and I did, there was some bitter feelings at that 54-8 game, as now we get a run to the outside, trying to get out to stop the clock, but slips a little bit now. Pickup of about 8, that'll keep the clock going.
Oh, Andy, Roger, I appreciate you letting me just say a few words. I enjoy watching Old Orchard. Congratulations to them, and I look forward to their big game next week in the finals, and best of luck.
All right, thanks, Jay. Well, that'll bring up 2nd down and 2 right at the beat 45. 6 minutes left to go in this football game. 6:05 and clock running. Again, Madison's going to be forced to now maybe throw the football. They're playing for pride now.
Exactly. Nice to see Jay come up here. For him, actually, get the chance to see this team. There's Bigford making another move, Andy.
Yeah, the rodeo is actually in the field over, but Bigford thinks it's over here, and he ride him cowboy. And Moody gets up shaken up, I think.
Jim Bigford having another one of those great defensive games this afternoon.
He's having a Jim Bigford day. This is what he does week in and week out. That's why he's on the all-conference team.
Big loss. We'll set it back to 3rd and long, make it 3rd and about 9. With the clock continuing to run as we're down to about 5:20 left here in this football game. And the Seagulls have it wrapped up and are just waiting for next week now. And everybody on this side of the field is just hoping that they do the next 5 minutes without an injury.
Well, that's the important thing. This squad is so small, and they've stayed injury-free in our field conditions like this. That's all you hope for now.
Yeah, and I hope
injury-free.
I hope bringing it up we don't jinx them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want to bring it up. But 3rd down, anyway. Ralph Dubois misses the tackle, but Walsh will go out of bounds. He may have the 1st down. Very close.
Yeah, it's going to be close. A good run that time, though, by Walsh. He was determined. Plus, he gets out of bounds and stops the clock. So that'll move. They may give it to him. They will.
It is a 1st down.
9-yard pickup. 4:50 left. The clock stops. He did go out of bounds, too. Good run that time by Walsh.
Ball goes down to the 43, the Seagull 43.
Longest run from the line of scrimmage this afternoon was right there. A 9-yard pickup.
Wow.
Again, Madison would just love to put something on the board here just to avoid a shutout. I mean, they're not going to win the football game with 4:50 left. Well, we saw an interesting game in Texas one year where he was trailing by, it seemed like a mile, and that game got interesting. That's Moody, I believe, or Stroud.
Stroud, I believe
I think
it
it's Stroud. Moody was injured. Clock's keep going. He never went out of bounds.
It'll be 2nd down and about 5. Make it 4. We're down about the 37-yard line. Clock continues to run. Of course, this game is over for all intents and purposes. We're just playing with the clock at this point.
Yeah, the only quarter the Beach didn't score in was period number 2, Raj.
Yep. Quarterback swings out, and it gets nailed by Ralph Dubois for another loss.
What an incredible game these linebackers are playing also. Defensively, what can you say about this one now? Just shutting him right down.
Totally.
This Madison team came in with a 5-3 record, by the way. This team beat Lisbon earlier on, as we mentioned earlier, in overtime, 13-7 earlier on in the season. So this It's a good football team we're seeing here this afternoon being shut out.
Well, they got a 3rd and 9. Stroud has been the quarterback the last couple of calls. I'm not sure if that's him there now or not. The numbers have become a little muddied.
Yeah, it is.
It is. He throws.
He
Is
gets
nailed. And the pass is incomplete. He just got clobbered.
He's still down. Scott Darling nailed him just as he threw the ball, and then Gerard knocked the ball down, I believe, down there. He's still down.
He is down.
Darling just leveled him.
Gerard on defense, the other end, batted away the pass, but
yeah, he got hit hard.
Oh, that boy got clobbered.
3:09 left in the football game now, we can say.
It might be a good spot while they're tending to that young man. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with the remainder of this 4th quarter right after this pause.
Nothing's easier.
It's the look you've been looking for.
Nothing's easier.
It's the best pay in the business.
Nothing's easier than easy.